Hi, I'm Phyllis and my website is southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to have another one of those open pies, and it's going to be ham and cheese and something else. But we're also going to have some shredded cabbage. Let me show you that. Real thinly shredded cabbage. I'm just going to steam it for maybe about 15 minutes until it's tender. And that'll be one of the side vegetables. And we're going to have half a baked potato each. This is still frozen. This is some of my stash from the freezer. What I'll do is just cut that in half, and well, first of all, I will defrost it in the microwave, cut it in half, and put some butter on it. So anyway, we are going to do the pie crust, and this is what I use. The Pillsbury Refrigerator Pie Crust. You usually get 2 in the pack, or the Great Value brand, which I think is exactly the same thing as the Pillsbury. Tastes the same to me. So here's what it looks like, and you're supposed to take it out of the refrigerator for 30 minutes before you make it, but I don't ever remember to do that, so we're just going to cut it out of that wrapper. And I'm using a pizza pan. It's a very old pizza pan. I'm just going to try to gently unroll this. Just roll it out right on the pan, and I did just lightly grease the pan just to be sure. And I know y'all have made lots of these since we first started doing them, putting all kinds of things on them, because I've read that in the comments, which is a great idea. I'm just going to poke this with a fork just to make sure it doesn't puff up anywhere. Now I've got my oven preheated to 450 degrees, and we're going to cook this for about 10 minutes. Get it brown or lightly brown and crispy. All right, hold on, let me put this in the oven. All right, and we're back. So I want to mention a few things to y'all. A lot of y'all are watch my videos and make regular comments, and so the other day, I think a couple of days ago, I made a video to do with the little birds in the tree, or in the little ligustrum, a very large ligustrum plant right off our deck in the backyard. And I had transplanted a little Carolina wren's egg into the nest, hoping that the mother would incubate that egg too, and everybody would be alive and well. Well, what happened was the blue jays ended up, first of all, they ended up taking 2 of the cardinal eggs, and so then I think it was 3 days later they came back and got the babies and the other little egg of the Carolina wren. So I had a lot of comments on that, and a lot of people that make comments are very familiar with blue jays, particularly in the South. They're a very aggressive bird, and they do eat, they are a carnivorous bird. They definitely eat other birds' babies. They eat lizards, frogs, even small snakes. Now, several people, not a lot, but 3 or 4 people made comments, but one that was particularly harsh said that me and Mr. Bucky actually killed the babies and threw the nest away. We didn't, y'all. I did delete that comment, and I also blocked that person from ever making another comment. That was totally ridiculous. How in the world they got that out of the video I made, I will never know. But anyway, those kind of comments just don't cut it on my channel, y'all. I delete them and I block them. I just cannot stand that kind of a comment for no reason. Just, I don't know who they are, but people that just make comments like that, everything is just super negative. So anyway, if y'all live in the South particularly, I think most of y'all know how blue jays are. They destroy other birds, little babies. They take eggs out of the nest, all kinds of stuff. And several people had said, oh, well, how do you know it was the blue jays that got the eggs? Maybe it was a snake. No, it wasn't. We've lived here for 30 years. I have never seen a snake, ever. And so, I mean, we've got houses all around. Everybody's got dogs in their backyard. Snakes just don't come where they're dogs, and probably don't go where they're cats either, is my guess. But I know they don't come where there are dogs, because dogs will kill a snake. So anyway, saying that it was could have been a snake, not to blame the blue jays. Well, several of them I mentioned in my comment back that they should look up on Google about blue jays so they will know, because they didn't believe that blue jays eat other birds' babies. No, not just the eggs, they take the babies too. And the other thing, another person said, well, no, when blue jays see a predator, they do all that squawking and flying around and everything. Well, maybe they do. But in our area, I don't know that they have any predators. And when they find something or they kill something or get baby birds, the whole gang of them comes in and they start squawking and making all this racket. When they are stealing baby birds and eggs, they're very, very quiet until they get it out of the nest and get it somewhere where they can eat it. And this is a harsh reality of nature, but that's what happens. There are other birds that do that. Crows do that too. So saying that, oh, it must have been a snake, I'm the one that made the video. I'm the one that was trying to help the babies, and I'm the one that saw the blue jay 3 days earlier take the egg. I was in my dining room looking out the window, and he had the egg out in the middle of the backyard. It had already cracked one and eaten the contents, and then I found the other one later sort of in the same place. So what are you to take from that? Was it the blue jays or a snake? No, it was the blue jays, y'all. So anyway, that's what I have to say on that. So I don't like ugly comments on my channel. I don't mind if you disagree with me, but you need to find a better way to say it than the way some of these comments were written. All right, we're going to check on our pie crust. We'll be back. All right, we got our crust nice and brown, and I did put my 4 ounces of cream cheese into the microwave to soften it up, even though I'd taken it out earlier. It needed to soften up a little bit. So we're going to, again, this is 4 ounces of cream cheese, and while this is still warm, I'm going to spread this out on the little pie crust. Very hot. Okay, so I was talking about the negative comments about the little bird, so we might as well talk about another little problem, and that is people trying to promote their channel on my channel. Now, the way they do that is to make a comment and put a link in the comment to their channel, of course. And I don't think they realize that when you do that, YouTube puts that into the comments that need to be reviewed. And so that allows me to delete them, because that's not the proper way to promote your channel. You need to make good videos and you know, encourage people to watch them, but not by getting on somebody else's channel and making a comment and then leave a link in that comment. It just doesn't work, and they always get deleted, or most of them get deleted. So if you want to do a YouTube channel on cooking or whatever, you're going to have good content, and you're going to have to promote your channel in some other way, because YouTube doesn't allow you to promote your channel on somebody else's channel without their permission. So just thought I would mention that. Okay, so we've got our cream cheese. That was 4 ounces of cream cheese all spread out. And next, we're going to put, this is about 1 cup of little ham pieces. We had a ham on Sunday, and I cut off some of it and cubed it, got all the fat off of it. So it's going to be some ham pieces all over. Spread all over the top of it. Yeah, I'm using plenty of ham. I also froze part of that ham because it was certainly too much for just the 2 of us. Alright, so what happens is the cream cheese, or really any kind of cheese, helps hold the content on top of the crust. So that's about a cup of sliced up little pieces of ham. I don't like the fat on ham. To take that off. Alright, so now we've got this. And so here's the other thing. Now with ham, many times I serve cranberry sauce. And I use a whole berry cranberry sauce. So we used about half of it on Sunday, and the other half I just put in a bowl and put in the refrigerator. And so a little while ago, what I did is dumped it into one of those little strainers, run hot water over it to get all the gelatin out of it. And the reason I do that is so it won't melt through and, you know, make my bottom crust a little soggy. So this is cranberries from a whole can, a half can of whole cranberry sauce. So I'm just going to put that in there too. Like that. Yeah, a lot of those cranberries will be whole too, by the way, but they are cooked, of course, being in the can of whole cranberry sauce. And again, I didn't want the gelatin to stay in there because it would make it too watery. But you still get that little bit of a citrus taste. Oh, there's a cranberry with a stem on it. All right. So there's the ham and the cranberries. And now we're going to top that with some Monterey Jack cheese. I did shred this earlier, so we're just going to put that right on top. Now we kind of glue everything together. Now I cut my oven off because of course it was on 450 degrees, but it will still be plenty warm. And we're going to put this back in the oven and melt that cheese. And hopefully by that time our cabbage, in fact it looks close to being ready now. We're going to have some other stuff with the, well, we're going to have the baked potatoes, so I can go ahead and defrost that in the microwave. And doesn't that look pretty with a little red on it too? Alright, so it's going to go back in the oven and just sit there for a little while till this cheese melts. And we'll be back and show you what all this looks like on the plate. We'll be back. Alright, here's the meal on the plate. Now on that baked sweet potato, I just used a little butter, and I did use a little dash of nutmeg. There's some Jello, that's lemon Jello, and the fruit is papaya and mango and pineapple. It's just a little can of the tropical fruits, and I did drain the juice because it was in heavy juice, so well, heavy sweetener or whatever. Anyway, I dumped that out, and this is just lemon Jello made by the package directions. There's the shredded cabbage that I steamed, and there's the open-faced ham pie with cranberries. I love the cranberries in it. So we've got 2 pieces left, which we'll probably have tonight. along with some other kind of dessert maybe for tonight. Anyway, and there's the iced tea. All right, y'all, we will see y'all next time. And by the way, this would be great with the little pineapple tidbits too. It would be really, really good. All right, y'all, see you next time. Bye for now.